day, all gravity. Any day above ground, live it. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. That central air unit is loud like a son of a bee. But I'm glad everybody's well. It's a cloudy day in Atlanta, but it's like I said, every day above ground, live it. 2024, we are officially getting ready. The world can change in 15 months for the good or the bad. But of course, my job is to make sure you guys have all the information so you can make an informed decision if you're going to the polls. Now, as I've been documenting what's going on with this election, I forgot to name one other group that's going to get us in trouble if we do not get them in check, because they have the power to mislead the youth and mislead other people who may not be in these political realms every day, all day. Now, I've documented the white voting bloc. They're still mad at me over that, by the way. Down here in the left-hand corner are the black conservatives, and we know them well. Over here is the non-white voter, your AAPI, your Latinos. We documented them in regards to the affirmative action decision by the Supreme Court. But this one up in the upper right-hand corner, we didn't get to talk about. Now, you're seeing a whole bunch of black senators here. This represents the title of the show, the Nouveau Black. Because the Nouveau Black tells you every 2 years to vote for people like them. Your Obamas, your Kamala Harrises, your Cory Bookers, your Raphael Warnocks, your Congressional Black Caucus, or like Professor Black Truth likes to say, Congressional Black Talkers. I call them the Congressional Black Cuckasses, because all they do is be subservient to the white Democrats. So we're going to talk about them today. The Nouveau Black Democrat voter, which is the last corner in bad voting. Black Manta 777, good morning. Carlton Way, good morning. Make sure you hit the like on the way in. Let's begin. Now, let's do a little bit of history. Now, I brought up those senators to show something, because last year, excuse me, they tried it. They tried to tell us that if we don't vote for these black people, we're going to be in trouble. We're not going to get what we need. We heard a lot about them. So I just want to give a little refresher course before we get into these Nouveau Blacks that are out here who got the signal to go outside. Tabernacle. So this was on NBC News last year on October 25th, 2022. So this was about a week before the election of the midterms. Here are the black candidates who could make history on election night. A record number of black candidates are running for high offices in this year's midterm elections, and a slew of historic wins could help reshape politics. Sure. More black faces in high places, and that's really helped us change shit. Today, 24 black major party candidates are battling for U.S. Senate, governor, and other high office positions across the country. This is already a record, and if successful, some of the candidates would be the first black people to hold the top elected offices in their states. There have been 7 black senators and 2 governors elected in the nation's history since Reconstruction. At least 28 states have had a black representative in Congress, and black Americans hold 56 seats in the House. In the midterms, there are 11 running for Senate, 5 running for governor, and about 8 running for high offices like Attorney General, Lieutenant Governor, and Secretary of State. To that note, these elections could produce some historical firsts for their black candidates. Although the House of Representatives have seen more diversity in recent years, with the 116th Congress having the most diverse class of members in its history, the 2022 midterms could increase those numbers and offer some historic facts. Democrat Summer Lee, a second-term Pennsylvania State House member who is a favorite to beat out Republican Mike Doyle, would become the first black woman elected to Congress from Pennsylvania. Community organizer Democrat Odessa Kelly would be the first openly gay black congresswoman, the first black woman to represent Tennessee in Congress if she wins against her Republican opponent, Representative Mark Green. So let's check out Summer Lee first. Oh, Summer Lee. Let's see if she won her seat. Let's see if she won her seat. She won her seat, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, she did. She's a member of the U.S. House of Representatives from Pennsylvania's 12th District. She became the first black woman from Pennsylvania in the House of Representatives. She won the primary by less than 1% of the vote over her closest opponent, Steve Irwin, the chair of the State Advisory Committee for the United States Commission on Civil Rights. Interesting. Let's see. She supports abortion. Okay. Affirmative action. In response to the Supreme Court's decision for students for fair admissions v. Harvard, which held that race-based affirmative action programs and college admissions processes violate the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment, Lee stated that she was disgusted that our country just enshrined racial inequity in higher education and economic immobility into law. So she was against the decision, which will help our children. JB Easy, good morning. Interesting. Tell us more. Tell us more. Now, ma'am, your state had a train derailment. I think it was the town of White Oaks, I believe. Yeah, train derailment. Notice how quickly came and went. Let's see. You didn't mention that in this. Whoever wrote your wiki, they didn't mention it. You're worried about what the Israelis and the Palestinians got going on. I'm sure that'll be a talking point for black folks come 2024. Guess what? We don't care. Y'all know what y'all got to do with us, especially the cousins. We need that anti-hate legislation, and more often than not, we will tell you this first. Cut the check. We don't care about what they got going on. We really don't. Bonnie B, good morning. We don't care. But let's continue. What else are you about? Russia. You got banned from Russia. Who cares? Sorry, you say it for us, brother. You say it for us.
Who cares?
Exactly. We don't care. Here it is. In light of a potential ban on TikTok in the United States, Lee has supported the website, calling it, quote, an incredible organizing tactic. So they're going to target our children on TikTok. This is why it's so important, family. who look up these candidates and make sure you got all your information. It's very important. Excuse me. Very important. But okay. Let's see how she did in that race. I went to Open Secrets. Let's see how she did in the race. Now she won. She had $1.9 million almost. Hmm. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Curious though. Let me see what is it? Outside spending. Ooh. She spent $6.2 million almost. They really wanted this woman to win. We have super PACs. We have 501c3s. Now I'm going to assume that these are all the committees that put their money into this race. Let's see. Who did you support? American Federation of Teachers. For Democrats and against Republicans. They didn't spend no money against Democrats. That should tell you everything you need to know, family. Mm, mm, mm. Let's go back to candidates. So her source of funding, small individual contributions, less than $200. Large individual contributions was the bulk of her cash on hand. Well, her cash that she spent for this. Hmm. Well. This here. God damn it. Oh, whatever. We'll do it this way. Ah, Jesus. Incomplete disclosure, $6,200. That was 5%. But 20% of your money, you didn't disclose where you got it from. I wonder why. It's not a lot, but that's significant. $24,150. That is significant. We need to know. We need to know. But let's go back to Summer Walker. Ooh, contributors. Let's see. J Street. I wonder which J. Ooh, the J Street Pact. I am curious. What are you? A Street Pact. Never heard of you. Let's see what you're about. Ooh. Well. Well. Mm, mm, mm. You were banned from Israel, but a pro-Israel super PAC gave you money. Well, PAC. I shouldn't call them a super PAC. Mm, mm, mm. Well, damn. Isn't that something? By the way, family, would you like to see a familiar name who got money from this pact as well? Tabernacle. Old Pastor Pork Chop himself. Raphael Warnock got almost $400,000. Mm, mm, mm. We have Mandela Barnes on here, Cheryl Beasley, John Fetterman. Mm, mm, mm. When you go down this politics rabbit hole, you just find a lot. Mm. University of Pittsburgh, okay. That's where she's at. Justice Democrats. TBA has documented them well. University of California in a Pennsylvania race. Interesting. Now, Summer Walker, where did you go to school? Let's see. You went to Pennsylvania State University and you went to Howard University of Law. Why would the University of California give you money? I'm asking for the family. Torian Rain, good morning. John Guillory, good morning. Shit, I could use 400K. Oh, Lord. That is the future that you just heard on the microphone. This is beautiful, family. Very beautiful. These are when the Nouveau blacks that's going to come outside and tell us that we need to vote or democracy is dead and black people are going to be ended. Just watch out for that when you see that name, Summer Lee. All right. All right. Let's go back to the article. And then we're going to get into what I really want to talk about. Of course, they mentioned old Stacy, which we already know what happened. She lost. And it was a beautiful day for Georgia. Georgia was a little bit brighter that day, even though gas prices are starting to creep up, but we knew this was going to happen. So, you know, what we do over here, family, we prepare for the eventual. We prepare. But they, in this article, just go down and names a list of people who are trying to go in and win. It didn't work for a lot of them. But we'll put the article there. But this is what I really wanted to get into. I came across a couple of articles. Especially about black men, because of course, every time there's an election cycle, we are the boogeymen. We get called names. We get called the reason why the Democrats have wavering support, and then they send the women outside to tell us to get back in line. Let me tell you something. You Nouveau black women that try that, you come over here and bring that to me, I'm cussing you out. And I mean that. I don't care if you're friends. I don't care if you follow me. I don't care if you had a relationship with me. You come over here and tell me that I need to vote Democrat to save this democracy, I'm cussing you out. We're not doing identity politics anymore. So it says via Reuters, some black men lose faith in Biden Democrats in 2024. Some. Did you not see the exit polls in 2020? Some. 28% of black men voted for Trump. What do you mean some? %100 jump in black women. What do you mean some? Y'all don't even read your own exit polls when you win. No, Bunker. No, and good morning to you, sir. No. I did that from 2004 to 2016. No. It's gotten me nothing. No. I am not doing that. That's why I became independent. And it's beautiful. Because I have no allegiance. You fuckers got to come to me now. It's a beautiful thing. But anyway, let's read this. And look who they mentioned first. Betta McConan. Let's look up Betta McConan, shall we? Let's see if we can find a picture of old Betta McConan. Now I see a bunch of melanated people, but don't look like it. Now you're down here in Georgia. We're going to assume you're black for purposes. A 28-year-old in the key voting state of Georgia is among the millions of black voters who helped deliver President Joe Biden the White House in 2020. Uh-huh. Tell us more, Betta. Tell us more, sir. 3 years later, he is one of the voters who Democrats fear could cost Biden a second term in 2024. You see what they're doing, family. Not even the second sentence. They're trying to make it seem like if Biden loses, it's going to be our fault. Damn what he did for 4 years. Well, 3 years at that point. Damn what he did, which was not much. And lower our credit rating on the world stage. It's going to be our fault. Black men destroyed this country. And we have to vote blue to save the fool. You guys can use that. I give you permission. When they say vote blue no matter who, you tell them we will not vote blue to save the fool. Disappointed by what he sees as Democrats lurch to the left, free spending and empty promises, but also turned off by far-right Republicans, McConan said he sees nothing but bad options at the ballot box next year. That's why it's called vote for your local and state, sir. You can make a difference in your community. You don't need to vote on the federal level just so you can get a fucking sticker to put on your shirt. Oh, and down here in Georgia, they give you the stylus, the fake ass stylus pen. They let you keep that after you vote. But go ahead. What I'm noticing across the Democratic Party right now is there's a lot of pandering to the black community, says McConan, who plans to attend business school after a career in the military. Well, shout out to you for serving the country. But it took you this long as a 28-year-old man to realize they were pandering to you. What the hell were you doing 3 years ago, sir? They pandered to everybody, especially black folks. Sir, you voted for Biden after he questioned how black you were. Let me would have come on the street, meet you, and tell you and ask you how black you are. I think you'd punch me in the face. At the most, at the minimum, you would cuss me on the street. But you let the white man get away with it. Yeah. I'm sorry, black women, y'all voted for Biden and Kamami. And Kamami literally attached herself to someone who questioned how black you were, despite all the bullshit you went through in this country. He had the nerve to question how black you were. Oh, and by the way, tell you that the reason he was able to stay sequestered during the scam was because your sister kept the grocery store shelves stocked, even though y'all do the doctoring and the lawyering and the nursing and all the essential jobs in this country, just like everybody else. And you still went out there and voted for him because you had your Chucks and Pearls in your Amazon shopping cart ready to go when they won. Yeah. I'm gonna need y'all to start watching my videos and my playlists so you can be well informed. Because if you do this again, y'all are going to get attacked worse than black men do in 2026. I promise you. They're already doing it with the. Let me be careful. Let me be careful. I got rid of it. The Transformers. Hmm. The most loyal part of the Democrat Party, they're not even coming out to protect you. Bunker TV, you made a very good point. Vivica Fox said black women are not part of the black community. And where is Vivica Fox now? I'll tell you where she is. She's doing Car Shield commercials. How the mighty have fallen. Mm. Will Smith is in purgatory right now in Hollywood, and he's still more relevant than Vivica Fox. Well, damn. Oh, we know Bunker. She told Ice Cube that, and Ice Cube has been everywhere except the black grassroots media, but that's another subject for another day. Back to the article. It seems like they do a lot to try to make it seem like they are the party for young black men or black men as a whole, but they don't back it with anything. They don't follow through, he said. Long the most loyal Democratic constituency, black voters played a large role in rescuing Biden's struggling 2020 presidential campaign in the South Carolina primary and sending him to the White House with Democrats in control of the Senate, thanks to further success in Georgia. In return, many black voters expected Biden and Democrats to push new federal protections against restrictive local voting laws, police and criminal justice reform, student loan debt relief, and economic empowerment. Let's go through this, shall we? Restrictive local voting laws. How did that work out in 2022? How restrictive were we down here in Georgia, sir? We were so restricted. Stacey Abrams got destroyed by 300,000 votes. When in 2018 she lost by a few thousand. But it had nothing to do with her being a bad candidate. Nothing. Or like old boy said it yesterday. Never. It had nothing to do with that. The police. You mean the same Biden who sat at his State of the Union and said the answer is not to defund the police, but to refund them? And everybody damn near in the chamber got up and clapped. And he said not once, not twice, not three times, 4 fucking times. Yeah. Criminal justice reform. Criminal justice. Biden, the author of Biden's law, was going to do criminal justice reform. Student loan debt relief. You really thought he was going to take away $50,000 of your debt? By the way, they started the payment started again, family. Yes, they did. Oh, by the way, this is the same dude also who's throwing black people out of their houses, allowing the sheriffs around the country to do it. And the courts won't even hear your cases. Yeah, the mandates came down, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. And economic empowerment. Are you serious? This man is sending Ukraine money every day. Black communities are struggling. He's sending money to Ukraine. Yeah. Well, all right. Do your thing. Many of those efforts have been blocked by Republicans, leaving Biden to ask voters to let him finish this job with his second term, but with no clear path to get these things done. Red flag number 2, family. Now they're going to boogeyman you into thinking it's the Republicans' fault. Again, we're going to document this. They, just like Obama, had 2 years free and clear to do whatever they wanted to help black folks. Didn't do it. Didn't do it. He could have set black people up. Didn't do it. This cocksucker used 2 weeks to give the Asians a hate crime bill and $50 million. And he didn't even have to kidnap Chelsea Clinton to do it. And we sat there and watched him do it. And those who were in the know looked at the Nouveau blacks and said, that's what you voted for. Where are the protections for black people after Buffalo. What did we get? I'll tell you what we got. We got Kamami on a plane with Al Sharpton saying she ain't want to go to Buffalo because her inability to not even do her own initiative, which is black maternal mortality, she didn't even do anything for that at the minimum. But her history with black folks, she'd have to go in a room full of black mourners and somehow come off as likable. She didn't want to go. Al Sharpton had to convince her to go. And what did she do? She had to take the white man with her. Shout out, hello, Doug. She had to take her husband with her just so they won't attack her. But when she went to Uvalde, ladies and gentlemen, she had flowers in hand, mourning. But all right. On the other hand, Democrats focus on LGBTQ and abortion rights leaves voters like McConan feeling alienated. You voted for everybody else, sir. I thought you knew this. The black vote is a vote for everybody. Black people had my back and I'm going to have yours. That's what Biden said on November 7th, 2020. And yeah, he had your back. He pushed it while you had the noose around your neck. He don't care about black votes. You're a commodity to him. The black vote for Kamami is an image vote. I'm not trying to be disrespectful here, family. I'm trying to tell you a story. You want to exert real power? You want to show this country we have real power? We did it in 2020, 2022. I'm sorry. We're going to do it again in 2024 if you get informed. If you're willing to stomach some hard truths and listen to what the new black media is telling you, you will go into those booths if you choose to go more informed than you've ever been, including the children. We can change shit. But you got to be willing, and I want you to hear me, you got to be willing to be the bad guy. You've got to be willing to, as Black Light Revelations, Tori Rain and myself say all the time, you've got to be ready to embrace villainy. They already make us the bad guy. Might as well embrace it. I'm probably getting turned away from the left just because the Democrats are turning more left in my books, he said, adding he wished Democrats spent more time on the economy. Polls and Reuters interviews show younger black voters and black men of all ages are losing their faith in Democrats, Biden, and perhaps even the political process just 3 years after the U.S. biggest protest for racial justice and civil rights in a generation, because we got nothing out of it except more dead bodies. That's all we got. The vast majority of black voters, including men, are still expected to choose Biden over a Republican. But the question for Democrats is whether disillusioned black voters will turn out to the polls in large enough numbers in crucial cities from Philadelphia to Atlanta, Milwaukee, and Detroit to keep Biden in the White House. Democrats need to understand that there is a growing population, especially with black men, who are reaching the point of being fed up with always being pushed over and looked over, says Leland Evans, 33, political campaign manager who is running as a writing candidate for Nashville City Council. Democrats' failure to secure widespread student loan relief or legalize marijuana has been disappointing, Evans said, adding that Republicans' more aggressive approach when they have power means they are actually getting things done. Self-identified black Americans make up 14.2% of the U.S. population, or 42.7 million people, 30% jump from 2000, Pew Research shows. I'll let y'all legislate that. These Americans are 5 years younger than the population as a whole, with an average age of 33, and Democrats earning their loyalty is crucial for the party to keep winning in Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Georgia, and to recapture districts in the South in the future. Okay. Instead, the opposite is happening. Black voter turnout dropped by nearly 10 percentage points from 51.7 in the 2018 midterm elections to 42% in 2022, according to a Washington Post analysis of the U.S. Census Bureau's survey released earlier this year. White voter turnout slipped by only 1.5% to 53.4. And we got a graph. Black voters have participated in U.S. presidential elections at higher rates than the national average for over 2 decades. Black voter turnout was down across the country in 2022. We saw it in the polls, the surveys, the exit polls, and every way you could measure it, says Michael McDonald, a politics professor at the University of Florida. Some Democrats have also been disturbed by recent polls showing that some Black voters are defecting to Republicans. Trick bag number 3 right here, family. Some Black voters are defecting to Republicans. We need to watch out for that. We need to watch out for that. Because the next thing they're going to do as it gets closer to the election, they're going to start saying that Black men are extremists. We identify with what the Republican Party is putting down, despite the fact that they could easily read our social medias and look at our videos, and we're not even advocating for y'all to go to the other side. But that's what they're going to do, to fearmonger. Hey, the Democrats ain't going to do nothing, so you're going to go to the racists on the right, and you're going to identify with them. That's why I keep telling you, manosphere niggas. That's why I told y'all months ago, manosphere niggas, they're going to demonize y'all. And they've done it. But okay, you don't want to listen. Fine, you wanted to show up. It showed up. Be careful with that, family. Stand on your square. We cape for no party here. We cape for policy. If the policy is sound and it's going to rise Black people up, we will take a look at it. And we're going to look it over stringently. But if you tell us just to vote, you can go to hell.
Let me tell you something, man. You see a thing named police, politician. Me not trust none of them boy, the road boy. Remember.
JB Easy says, notice these people don't worry about the Asians, Latinos, and the alphabet people. They don't, because they know they're going to go out and vote. The Latinos go out and vote Republican. They know this. The Asians vote local and state. They barely touch the federal. Hell, I read an article last year. They're pissed off with Command Me because they thought they were going to get tangibles. Command Me ain't giving them no tangible. And the LGBTQ are going to be on the Democrat plantation because they've been giving them tangibles. They've been allowing them to thrive. That's going to come crashing down after the election. I promise you this. Because they're going to have to deal with, if the Republicans get in, they're going to have to deal with the fact that the Republicans are going to restrict a lot of their shit. And it's going to force them to confront the degeneracy in their movement. They don't have the heart to do that. I'm sorry, you can get mad at me all you want. Back to the article. 1 in 5 Black people under the age of 50 voted Republican in the 2022 midterms, roughly double the number of their elders, according to a previously unreported analysis of exit polling data by Hit Strategies, a public opinion research firm aligned with Democrats that routinely surveys Black Americans. They watching us. But hey, Black men and women under the age of 50 voted Republican in similar numbers, the polls showed. Republican Donald Trump's 12% share of the black vote in 2020 was 4 percentage points higher than it was in 2016, according to exit polls by Edison Research. A Reuters Ipsos poll conducted July 11th through 17th found 18% of black Americans would pick Trump over Biden in a hypothetical matchup compared to 46% who favored Biden, including about 1 in 4 black men compared to about 1 in 7 in black women. Compared with black women, black men were more likely to say they would back a presidential candidate that supported abortion restrictions and increased police funding to fight crime. Trick bag number 4. The flipping of history. Black men were more likely to say they would back a presidential candidate that supported abortion restrictions and increased police funding to fight crime. These are Nouveau blacks they polled, not us. See, real black men don't have to worry about abortion. We're in relationships with women. We are teaching our women about the value of their body, just like women are. We not out here talking about abortion restrictions. And we damn sure ain't talking about increasing police funding. We know how the cops are. We don't need to give them more money. What we're talking about is y'all need to start holding more cops accountable. Maybe one day they'll wake the fuck up and say, well, you know what? We can't just go out and be the Lone Ranger. We can actually see some consequences if we keep doing this. They still haven't learned that a few of them going to jail, they still haven't woken up. We got to keep going. That's what we talking about. Start throwing more cops in jail. And don't give them no protections while they're in jail. Let them be among Gen Pop. Maybe they'll learn. But all right. Here we go. They're going to talk about the economy now. When you get to economic issues, economic security, inflation, job security, those 50 and 60-point gaps begin to shrink to near parity when you have young black folks saying that Republicans are almost as good for them on the economy as Democrats are, Woodbury said, who is the chief executive officer at Hit Strategies. Sir, the Democrats don't stimulate the economy. We've seen this. Has Biden talked about giving the hardworking American tax cuts yet? I'll wait. This is the same fucker who said I'm going to go in your bank account if you have over $600 in a third party app like Cash App so they can see what you're doing. Yeah, no, we good on this. We good on this. Julian Sile, sorry, let's read again. Julian Silas, 25, a black investment research analysis from the analyst from the Chicago area, said many of his friends and family are re-examining their politics and questioning just how much the loyalty of black Americans to the Democratic Party bettered their lives, particularly their economic standing. Every 4 years, Democratic candidates talk about increasing black wealth and closing the gap between black and white Americans, but nothing actually really happens, Silas said. It seems like there's things that they talk about that seem good that I can align with, like student loan debt relief or home ownership and all these different things. But maybe sometimes it doesn't feel like it's moving fast enough, Silas said. U.S. black unemployment rate has fallen to historic lows under Biden, but hit a 10th month high in June, driven in large part by black workers leaving the labor market. Trick bag number 5. Whenever the Democrats tell you about the unemployment rate, just realized all they're doing is replacing the jobs that they helped destroy in 2020. That's number one. Number two, black men decided that they are going to take their own economics in their hands. They're going to, the Democrats, run this as a bad thing. Watch out for that. Black families had 4.4% of total household wealth in the first quarter of 2023. Federal research data showed up slightly from 4.3 at the beginning of 2020. So the Democrats in 3 years only gave you 0.1% total household wealth, 1/10 of a percentage point. But they love us so much, right? Got it. The Democrat Party has spent considerable time, money, and resources to retain and expand the black vote, including mounting registration drives in battleground states and recruiting black campaign staff. Black faces and positions. Trick bag number 6. Bringing culturally irrelevant bullshit to politics. U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris, the first black president to hold that position and the highest U.S. black elected official, and Jamie Harrison, the African-American chairman of the Democrat National Committee, attended this summer's Essence Festival of Culture in New Orleans and have lavished attention on historically black colleges and universities and media outlets, including black radio stations. They're putting in their schedules where they're going to go to pander. Now you want to give praise to HBCUs after the black grassroots said that the affirmative action decision actually helped them. So y'all are not even original. Here we go. Harris spoke at the annual NAACP gathering on Saturday. As we head into the 2024 cycle, the DNC is doubling down on our commitment to engaging black voters with meaningful and sustained investments to make sure they know how President Biden and Vice President Harris have delivered for them, says Tracy King, the DNC's Director of Outreach Communications, in an email statement. Man, if you don't send the next email saying that you told fibs, ma'am, we don't want to hear this. We don't want to hear this. We don't care about meaningful and sustained investment. We don't care about that. How are you going to make black people thrive in this country? That's what we care about. You saying you're going to give us investments. We don't know who's controlling that money. We don't know who's controlling that investment. We don't know what it's for. No. You want to engage black voters? Bring your asses down to the street. Don't go to no $30,000 a plate fundraising dinner. Come downstairs. I would be impressed if you go to a cookout and get cussed out. I would be impressed. Go to somebody's cookout, sit down there with the paper plate and the good barbecue, and listen to real folk tell you what the problem is. And have a meaningful street level conversation. That would impress us. Y'all don't want to do that because you're afraid that you're going to get cussed out. Go get cussed out. And last but not least, trick bag number 7. I don't know what to do. I'm going to play the lesser of two evils. I'm kind of stuck with Biden until someone else comes along, said Andre Russell, 47 and from Chicago, who works in education. As a society, we definitely have to move past the trope of old white men running everything. I have to add one more trick bag number 8. Chicago. What have I told y'all in the past about Chicago, family? If we got Chicago on code, black people could do damage in this country. Whoever wrote this article only focused on Chicago when they went to go do interviews. They know black support is wavering in Chicago. This is our time to strike. They're trying to get them back on board. Andre Russell, you're 47. Sir, you have seen, you voted in at least, at the minimum, 7 administrations, sir. 7. I'm not even going to count the midterm stuff. You voted in 7 presidential elections. Sir, they've done nothing for you. For you to say you're stuck with Biden, you're not stuck with Biden, sir. You can divorce yourself. But I get it. You work in education and teachers' unions are loyal to the Democrats. I get it. But all right. Enough about that. Torian knows what this is. I saw this yesterday. I put my radar sign. Kayla Gardner. She works for Bloomberg. She put up this video on her page. Black voters in Georgia were crucial to Joe Biden's win in 2020. Now they're showing signs of wavering support. Christian J. Holland and Gardner Kayla, which is her, spoke with voters in Atlanta to hear about how the bloc is thinking about the 2024 election. I'm curious. She looks like the 7th Williams sister. I'm just saying. Let's see what she said.
The black vote we've seen in the last couple elections can make or break something, especially when we all come together.
We can be just as motivated as we were in 2020. Hell, we can be just as motivated as we were in 2008 with Obama. But when you've got historic levels of voter suppression, then that same level of motivation and enthusiasm won't show up the same.
Sir, there was no voter suppression. Stop saying that. There was no voter suppression, sir. Stop saying that. Negro, you're in Georgia saying this. Sir, if there was voter suppression, how did Stacey Abrams win in 2018, sir? How did she almost win? If there was voter suppression, she lost by a couple thousand votes. Okay, she got to be able to lie that time. All right. This woman went in 2021 and lied about voter suppression and damn near crippled Atlanta's economy, Georgia's economy, on a lie. (2022) where was the voter suppression? She lost by over 300,000 votes. Where was the voter suppression, sir? Y'all don't want to say that these candidates were horrible. Stacey was a horrible candidate. Her whole campaign was based on fear, and it didn't work because you had the new black media and the black grassroots telling you about her. Stop saying that there was voter suppression. People actually did their research in 2022 because they were in fear of the Republicans. So they had to go look at y'all's candidates who y'all put up and said, y'all need to vote for them. And they found things in it that they didn't like. So they stayed home. Or like that article said, they went to the Republicans.
Because it is simply more difficult for our community to vote.
President Joe Biden won Georgia by less than 1% in 2020. A big part of his win was because of black voters in Atlanta.
The question now is whether black voters will match historic turnout again in 2024 and potentially decide the outcome of the next presidential election.
We think he's doing a wonderful job thus far. But
You got to watch these old niggas. You got to watch these old niggas.
election.
We think he's doing a wonderful job thus far.
Of the next presidential election.
We think he's doing a wonderful job.
Had a hit. Brother Kenneth Davis, how can you sit up there and listen to this man every day, send money to Ukraine and tell me he's doing a wonderful job? How can you sit there, Brother Kenneth Davis, and tell me he's doing a wonderful job when there's train derailments all over the country? Brother Kenneth Davis, how the hell can you tell me that he's doing a great job? And this man literally saw, we know this. The White House is patently aware of what goes on out here in the streets. You heard about a black truck driver, regardless of what he did or not, be attacked by police, and you still haven't put out a statement about that. Sir, how, Brother Kenneth Davis, how can you sit up there and say Biden's been doing a good job when he literally watched 10 black people get gunned down in a supermarket in a black neighborhood and didn't do nothing for them? But a white boy kills 8 Asian women and they get hate crime bills. They get money. They get a task force. Brother Kenneth Davis, how can you sit up there and say Biden's doing a great job when him and his cohorts literally lied on black people for 3 years, saying that we were the ones that were attacking Asians, and we go look at the numbers and Asians were barely attacked. Barely. But black people had a 3,000% jump in a year. But he's doing such a great job, right? Again,
you got to watch these old niggas. You got to watch these old niggas.
Thus far. But I would be less than honest if I didn't say we're concerned about his age.
Did you vote for Joe Biden in 2020?
I did, yes.
Okay. Do you plan on voting for him in 2024?
It really depends on the candidates, but I feel like it may be the default choice.
The alternative to Biden is the thing.
All the negative things that we're seeing are because of bills that were passed when Trump was in office.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. So now the thing is, let's blame Trump. Ma'am, okay, you're right. Trump passed bills when he was in office, like bills that helped black wealth get to historic levels of positivity. Yeah, Trump passed the bill that helped stop our black kids from being trafficked by cartels, including a program called Operation Talent and SOAR. Especially in the state where you and I reside, Georgia. He saved 50 black kids from being trafficked, man. But that was a bad bill, according to you, right? How about the bill where he's sent to Mexico, which they agreed to start paying for the wall? Oh, what about the bill that gave ICE more money and they went to Chicago and went to Mississippi and got all them illegals out of them factories, which gave black people jobs? Yeah, those bills, those are such bad bills. The NAFTA agreement, such a bad bill that he got us out of that and we started making more money. The energy independence bill, where I'm sure you weren't complaining when gas in Georgia was hitting about $2 straight. Sure, you weren't complaining then, because gas right now in Georgia is $3.69. Yeah, but Trump, when I'm not saying Trump ain't signing his fair share of bad bills, but ma'am, 2019 was a record year for black folks. Even the white racist conservatives had to admit it. Damn. But you know, all his bills were just so bad.
Inflation went from 3% to almost 9%. And the black households were suffering.
We finally found someone that was intelligent and read what was going on out here.
Our economy is a world economy, and there are so many things that are out of his control.
I don't know.
Our economy is a world economy, and a lot of the things are out of his control. So why is he there? He's the CEO of the company. He's supposed to be the figurehead. He's supposed to put the deal in place to thrive his people. If he can't do it, then y'all should not have voted for him. But y'all are talking about voting for him again. I don't know if he could do any more than he's doing. Then he needs to go. Oh my God. People. Oh my God.
But you get on the floor for this clown. He's a bum. He's trash. And you know it. And every time you bring him up, I'm going to let the world know exactly what he is.
We in trouble, family. We're in trouble.
Oh, if he could do any more than he's doing.
I'm not going to vote Republican. That's never going to happen. Yeah. But I will be thinking about who will get my vote based upon the promises that they intend to keep.
Okay, so let me ask you this. If Trump said on my first day in office, I will shut the border, I will get black people their reparations, and I will get us to a point where we won't need any other country to sponsor our economy. You gonna tell me you're not gonna vote for that? And to get the illegals out of here, you're not gonna vote for that. And look who they got up in, man. Neely Fuller Jr. I swear, I think he got to be a sentient being from somewhere else. He got to be from the future. He's got to be from the future. If you don't understand white supremacy and how it works, everything else will confuse you. Media is a motherfucker. This is what they slipped into this. We're supposed to be talking about black voters. Look what they slipped in. Not nah black person in this frame. And don't give me this chick because she looks Hispanic. Or at least mixed. Look who they put up in here. Man, if you don't get some...
So like actually, push a bill to enshrine the right to abortion in this country. And also at least say you support rent control in every state. Right now, 36 states have a ban on rent control. That's not right. That's anti-poor. That's anti-black. That's driving up gentrification.
I like that Kamala Harris is focusing on women's health.
She has a role to play.
When? She don't even... Never mind.
She's doing her role.
So even when Biden was vice president with Obama, you didn't see him headlining everything.
That's his job as a vice president. He's supposed to be working behind the scenes. Y'all are literally telling us why you voted for Kamami. You wanted to see somebody up front. Okay, fine. Let's take your assertion, man. Let's take your assertion.
President with Obama,
you didn't see him headlining everything. Man, literally all Kamami got to do is get the border under control. That's it. If anything else, she could fail at everything else. If she got the border under control, I would actually give her a modicum of respect. She's not even doing that. Her bare minimum at her job, she's not even doing. All she's doing now is yelling at Republicans. She might as well go back to being a senator. She could do it every day. She's doing nothing. She's traveling to Africa to try to get them on her script, and they don't even want it. They took her millions of dollars she dropped over there and still pushed their anti-gay bill. And I bet you when she calls to ask for the money back, they hang up on her. Oh, by the way, ma'am, let's help you with this. You're right. He didn't headline everything. He just told this man right here while he was arguing with Harvard's president about getting more funding to hang up on him. And also agreed that you should cut Pell Grants, which help black folks. But yeah, you're right. He need to headline everything. You're right. He just played the puppet strings in the background. All right.
Didn't see him headlining everything.
I never know what's going to happen in Georgia. I never know who is going to win. It's clear that the president or anyone elected can set the tone. No matter what, people are going to want to rebel. That's part of American culture.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Cool. That was a great video, wasn't it, family? Y'all had a lot to say. Shout out to y'all. That's why I like y'all. Y'all are very informed. I like it. And then we go to this. Harris urges Black Americans to vote in bid to replicate record turnout. This was her article. Here's what we need to do. Vote. It gets back to the voting. Kamami said this last Saturday. So for us, it's voting. For everybody else, they galvanize them based on the issue. All they want us to do is vote. Man. All right. Cool. Shout out to Miss Akela. She's doing the Democrat Lord's work. Shout out to her. Can't fault her. She's young. I can't fault her. Maybe she'll wake up. Who knows? But then we go to this. Since there's such a big age gap in who's going to vote and who's telling us to go vote. I saw this post yesterday. And I had to read it 4 times because I couldn't believe what I was reading. This doctor, who is part of them folks, the alphabet community, said poor white folks and Black people have so much in common. We used to know this. We birthed a labor movement together. All too often we remember to forget. Sure, we have so much in common with poor white folk. Except poor white folk can go to a bank right now and get a nice loan. Poor white folk have protections in this country. Poor white folk can get hella welfare. Owsley County, anybody. Poor white folk, no matter the situation economically or spiritually or socially they're in, they're still above a well-to-do Black person because of the color of their skin. Perfect example. Candace Owens in that video I showed you getting cussed out by a meth out white woman at Nashville's airport. She had the nerve, the methed out white woman in the airport, to ask Candace Owens if she's a Black person. Yeah. But we have so much in common with poor white folk. There's another trick bag, family. We are all in this together. Bullshit. Bullshit. We're in this together. White folk can't even decide a consistent schedule to send out to everybody to go shower. Yeah. We can't even get poor white folk to understand that Black people who have blood in this soil and whose blood is linked to people who lost blood on this soil to give them their reparations. And when they say poor white folk, we talking about everybody that's dead broke all the way up to working class. That what we talking about. Hell, middle class. Because of course, the way the WEF and the Davos group and the Bilderberg group, they like to classify wealth. If you ain't making over 250, you poor. So yes, according to you, we have so much in common. Uh-huh. How'd that work out in 2016? And beyond that, how'd that work out? How did that work out in the 20s when black people were trying to build things, sustain their own economy? How'd that work out? How'd the poor white folk, how did they react to that? Hell, we'll go even back further. Since you claim that you are so smart, how did that work out when the slaves were released? How did poor white folk feel about that? The majority of them. They wanted the ancestors back in chains. But all right. And of course, you got cooked for this. So much so you shut off the comments. But not before you got cooked. This is what we have in common with the poor white folk. This is what we got in common with the poor white folk. This is, according to that person, this is an example of that. This is what we should have in common with the poor white folk. A young brother or sister being hung and burned on a tree, and you got poor white folk smiling like a motherfucker. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Very much. Mrs. J.D. Mallon. Mrs. J.D. Mallon. And I think this is the most ridiculous thing that has ever happened. The Negroes are just as free as we are. They have the same opportunity to work
Put this in the kitchen.
and to build their part of the town up just the same as we have. I just don't understand it and don't approve of it. I'm going to stand up for my rights.
Oh, poor white woman's telling you how she's going to stand up for her rights to not live around the niggers. But we got so much in common with them, huh? Uh-huh.
Jim Knight with WALB Television News. We're soliciting the views of Albany people on the Civil Rights Bill. Would you like to give us your views?
Well, I think if they remain peaceful, it would be a lot better than perhaps the violence that was a concern. Well, of course, being a Southerner, I'm not for it at all.
I see.
And I just don't know how it's going to turn out. I hope we don't have any trouble.
We're soliciting opinions on the Civil Rights Bill. Would you like to give us yours?
I'm sorry, but I don't think it's the time right now. I think they have equal rights, though.
Thank you very much.
We have so much in common with them poor white folk. That woman said that at the time of the Civil Rights Bill being enacted, black folks had the same equal rights that white folk had. So the dogs and the hoses and the lynchings and the ass whippings on bridges, that's equal rights, right? Couldn't even go and live in the suburbs without being accosted. Don't believe me? Look up that episode of Happy Days where that black family moved in. Yeah.
Would you like to express your views?
No, I don't think so.
How about you?
Nope.
What I'd have to say wouldn't be fit to go on air.
Thank you very much.
There you go. What I'd have to say wouldn't even be fit to put on the air.
I don't like it. I think you're just trying to put something on us that we don't want.
I see.
We ought to have a national election on it rather than just letting 9 men tell us what we got to do.
And how about you?
I feel the same.
Fine. Thank you very much.
I sure don't like it, that's for sure.
I see. Do you feel this will have any effect on your life directly?
I imagine it will.
Thank you very
I'm
much.
afraid we might have niggers here next door to us.
Thank you.
That's who you want to have in common with. Uh-huh. 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 I tell you, these Nouveau blacks gonna get you in some trouble, boy. Mm-hmm. Let's look at the quoted tweet, shall we? And it jumped up 5 since I was documenting what they said. White people, including poor whites, excluded black people from the labor movement for the majority of U.S. history. Here's 2 books documenting it. I don't know what alternative universe you're speaking on. Even Lyndon B. Johnson said, if you can convince me the lowest white man, if you can convince the lowest white man he's better than the best colored man, he won't notice you're picking his pocket. Hell, give him somebody to look down on and he'll empty his pockets for you. Shout out to Sister Jess. A poor white person still has the privilege that a black person will never have simply because they're white. Laugh out loud. Poor whites are usually the main ones curb stomping black folks. Yeah, that's just not true. The white labor movement was built by excluding black workers, and it fell apart the second they no longer couldn't. It was white Americans and unions that excluded black Americans, for which Nixon, a foe of black Americans, enforced affirmative action regarding this exclusion. Moreover, poor whites helped birth the United Daughters of the Confederacy and were the overseers. What are you reading? Ooh, what is that's what we have in common with the poor white folk? The cousins, that what they got in common? Slavery was benevolent. Slavery was benevolent. That's going to be the next thing you hear, family. They already tried it. It went from slavery was benevolent to slaves had skills that they learned on the plantations for their own personal benefit. Yes. Yes. Yes, Torian. Good Twubba. This is what we have in common with the poor white folk.
Most importantly, that slavery was not the root cause of the war. The lost cause is one of the most notoriously effective.
Watch that one, family. Slavery was not the root cause of the war. Uh-huh.
It was.
Mm-hmm. TBA has documented them well, and so has Professor Black Truth. Black communities are poor intergenerationally. Y'all can stop lying about Appalachia too. You act like this was without racial tension and discrimination. Brotherhood of Sleeping Car Porters was created because of racism. Girl, go get your white leftist check, but leave us the hell out of it. If you love poor whites so much, why aren't you in community with them? Okay, y'all some full-time academic grifters. Somebody said that's a Pan-American dude. That's a gay Pan-American. Okay, sure. I don't know. Why won't you guys ever be honest about poor whites? These are facts. When Fred Hampton started organizing with the poor whites, the FBI alarm bells went crazy. The Southern strategy is to make poor whites feel as if they're better than black folks. If that's why poor whites vote against their interests in elections. Favorite example of this solidarity is when poor white people in Manhattan started murdering black people because they couldn't buy their way out of the draft like rich whites could. I see why old girl made that black people and PhD tweets. We need a name for black dudes who date white men. We can't call them bed wenches. Was it bed bucks? I don't know if that's enough. I don't know if bed bucks is enough. In college, I dated this white and his love practice was lit, but I was longing for black love. A law degree later, in a PhD, I've loved black men and longed for that white boy's love practice. A reminder, love must be intentional, but I still wanted black. A law degree later, in a PhD, I've loved black men and longed for that white boy's love practice. You want to call him Bed Willie? Bed Walter? I see what you did there. Nigga went into the bruh. My man went in this man's tweet and found this tweet, bruh. All right. Poor whites were the ones lynching us. Them buttered biscuits can't be that good. Yeah, I guess they can't. They be giving them the old biscuits, though. Y'all know this. Y'all know this. Poor whites fought for the rich white slave owning elites of the Confederacy willingly, knowing they had zero benefits from it. They hated black people that much. Well, your PhD. Let's see the bullet points that undergird your point. This is nonsense. We don't have the same marriage prospects, business prospects, inheritance flows, or cultural command. Christ have some goddamn shame. Every day y'all prove how absolutely useless a degree is. They cooked this man. They cooked this man. Bedbuster. Damn. Bed Brad. I wanted to say Bederick. You put Bed and Derek together. Put it in the chat. Oh, the Bederick. Y'all want to see something funny? I put this on my Twitter yesterday. Now, this is another one of them white Republican conservatives. She wrote, Trump's judge is not only hostile, but also a Jamaican immigrant with no understanding of true American patriotism or love of country. Immigrants should not be put in positions of authority because they will always rule against a racist countryman. Soon this will be the future for all of us who oppose this communist takeover. MAGA is pulling paperwork. Where'd they get that from? Usually back in the day, them fools would just see how you voted. Now they going back to go see where your people from. Lord have mercy. This is a great time to be alive, family. MAGA Christian ultra right wingers talking like Tariq.
Where's your family from?
Lord have mercy. You love to see it. It's only a concern when it doesn't work in your favor. Nah, this is what y'all get for undermining Black Americans. Immigrants should never be in our politics. Do you mean like Barack Obama and Kamala Harris? The immigrants are here to oversee prosecutions, and illegal immigrants are becoming police officers. I'm kind of glad I live in a small town. Just don't try it there, sir. Just don't try it there. According to Jason Aldean, that's the way he talking. Judges in the United States are appointed or elected based on their qualifications, knowledge, and experience in the field of law. Their personal background or country of origin doesn't impact their ability to interpret and uphold the law impartially. Okay, stupid. Let's see if you say all this when the first group of illegal immigrants are Chicago police officers. Let's see how much they're going to uphold the law impartially, sir. I'm sure they'll follow each and every rule to a T. Multiculturalism is a death blow for America. Multiculturalism with cultures we have nothing in common. Sickening. Still voting Trump. Ooh, somebody pulled up one of your tweets. Oh, this is Stephen Hunter Johnson Coon. What did you write? I don't blame American males looking abroad for wives. The strong, independent woman in combination with America's no-fault divorce laws with the family court system rigged against fathers will inevitably result in the American husband's bankruptcy on top of a hefty monthly alimony to fund his ex-wife's vacations with her new boyfriend. Sadly, that's what a majority of men have to look forward to in America. Don't want them to look abroad, then be better wives. Shit, you wrote that yesterday. All right. Huh? Next time, just say black people, sir. I'm gonna leave that alone because obviously you don't know that passport bros are not just black, but okay. Not all immigrants are bad. Many of them were wonderful people, but absolutely all legal immigrants are criminals. I ain't mean to laugh, family. I ain't mean to laugh. Oh man. MAGA pulling paperwork. Ultra conservative Christian nationals that are white pulling paperwork, telling people about your who, what, when, and
Where's your family from?
My God, 2024 is going to be so much fun, family. I'm telling you this right now. Oh, and I know I said his name earlier, so let's just get it out the way.
Insult to my existence.
So much fun, family. Oh, man. But anyway, family, I'm going to get up out of here. This was fun. But before I go, I'm going to put some articles that you guys can reference back later. Here's one I put in the comments about 5 facts about Black Democrats from Pew Research. That will be an interesting read for you. And then we have a Princeton article from 2020 asking, why are blacks Democrat? I'm not lying to you. That's the title. I'm not lying to you. That's the title. I'm not lying to you. That's the title. Why are blacks Democrat? Not black people, blacks. Blacks. There you go. That's one of the people that wrote that article. This is the other person that wrote that article. One, two, 1. That's who wrote that. All right. So those will be some interesting reads for you later, family. But anyway, y'all take care, stay safe, and y'all know what to do when the agitators of peace come to mess up your existence.